Pragmatic, realistic, concise. These are words other podcasts use to describe themselves, not us. This is Fairly Harmless. Take a break from being smart. With musical accompaniment provided by the Boston Horns, East Coast Funk. Please enjoy Andrew and James.
Welcome to Fairly Harmless. I'm Andrew.
I'm James.
And I'm Chuck. Well, I just want to say I'm glad to be a guest on this episode of Fairly Harmless.
I re-listened to the episode, Circling the Drain.
Yeah.
Which is our episode from last year. Right?
Is that a
right there
benchmark episode? Or
it is.
For us, Circling the Drain entered the lexicon of our language.
I thought Circling the Drain was going to be, this is the best of our podcast.
We actually tried that one time.
It was not great.
It went poorly.
Yeah, I think it was because we tried to do it it was like our 7th episide.
Right.
Well, there's another expression that makes me think of that it's not my own, but that he uses it enough that I just have co-opted it, and it's called smoking the drapes.
That may be the title of this episode.
Yeah.
That's when somebody is so out of touch or so, asking for something really beyond the pale of the context would be like, dude, what are you smoking the drapes?
This is your version of drinking the Kool-Aid, smoking the drapes?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like something is so out of touch or just unrealistic.
Because I get a lot higher with rayon than I do with cotton. That's just me.
Hey, I would be, you're right. It's like you can't give yourself your own Buddha, right? But
ooh, wow. Holy shit.
It has to be bequeathed or given to you, bestowed upon you.
I have
when I first moved to that I have to, I'm going to speak to that because
certainly.
When I was very new to this great pine tar heel state, pine tar state. Mm-hmm. And I this made me bad. I was doing some traveling. I was on my way to Atlanta, so I was going out Interstate 85, and I was traveling with another vehicle. So there was like a little 2-vehicle caravan, but we stopped for the proverbial gas and piss break and snacks and hydrate. And so, this truck stop gas station convenience store had a basket of fruit at the counter. It's always a gamble to begin with.
Sketch.
Oh yeah,
that's sketchy.
And they usually have bananas and apples, right? So
right.
It's like back then there was like 3 bananas for $1.
Right.
But they were actually trying to promote it. They were like, because they saw me looking at it, and I might grab a banana for some potassium and whatnot. So, they're 3 for $1, and I said, no thanks, not today. And they said, well, how about an apple? And they had these red delicious apples. No, I think I'll pass on that as well. I said, but you know what they say about an apple a day? And there was a pause, and then from behind the counter, it's like, what? And I was like,
it puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah, I was like, it was just like, I just, I thought I threw up a softball. It was just like, you know what they say, silence, and then what? I was like, oh, righty then.
Do you hear banjo music?
Yeah.
Start running.
Yeah. You got a real purty mouth.
That's what I was just fucking thinking. You know what they say? You got a pretty mouth?
Yeah.
Nope, I got to go though.
Yeah.
I'll take that banana and go, thanks.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I will take the banana.
Yeah. If I could say this about the podcast, to me, it's a podcast of attraction rather than promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very
absolutely.
much so.
And the attraction for me was the take a break from being smart. Mm-hmm. That's what, you know what I think.
That was my description
of the
podcast
to
a lawyer at the courthouse when I was there with a friend. She walked past and she said, "That's really clever. And she said, "What's it about?" And I said, she was a lawyer. She was dressed very well. Confess, and she was not unattractive. In my head, I'm thinking, you look smart. And I said, you know what? Take a break from being smart. And I also said, don't let your grandmother hear it.
So, Andrew, I did you a solid last night.
Oh, yeah?
And you sent me a list of what we were going to talk about.
Oh.
I'm a few years younger, so I didn't catch a lot of the shows.
Yeah,
that you'd watched.
You're right. I knew, but I figured you could interject your questions.
My insanity. And so
Yes.
what I did was Odessa was on the couch and we were watching TV, and I thought, well, what if I do a little research, And so I tried to do a little research, and the first thing that was on your list was Land of the Lost.
Oh, on Andrew's list.
On Andrew's list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never seen Land of the Lost. All Odessa said was, "Don't fuck with the crystals." That's all she said.
Right. That's right. I forgot about the crystals. Do you know Land of the Lost?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And so she was like,
right.
"That's the only thing you got to know about that show is don't fuck with the crystals."
Yeah.
And so I watched, I don't know, I couldn't watch a whole episode because it was terrible.
Many of those were terrible. They were great as a kid, though. I loved them as a kid.
Oh, of course.
But
because we didn't know any better.
Right.
Right. But I mean, it was campy as fuck.
Yeah.
But
production was cheap as hell.
Oh, geez. I mean, when I looked
it was what? It was like 73 or 74.
Oh, yeah. It was
it was before Star Wars when all the, it was before Industrial Light and Magic, and you're certainly not going to spend that money on a TV show.
Not then, anyway. So
I did do some research on the Brady Bunch, because that was that's what piqued our interest about you, was your extensive knowledge of 70s television, and specifically the Brady Bunch. Did you do any Brady Bunch work?
I tried, and what happened was Paramount owns the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
And they have locked it up behind Paramount Plus, which I didn't want to pay for.
So the clips I watched, I had the one that really impacted me was when they went to Hawaii episode. It shows all of the ladies are getting hula lessons, and I noticed that
I forgot about that, but yeah,
I noticed that Cindy, Carol, and Alice were all wearing full coverage shirts, but Jan and Marcia, right?
Marcia
were wearing bikinis, and so in my head, and
I don't know where this is going.
Well, in my head, I'm thinking this has that show is always promoted as being like wholesome television.
Right.
But I mean, it's clearly fucking not.
TNA.
Right. It's TNA.
Right. Which is strange because...
Right. Jan was ostensibly, I don't know,
what, 16,
12? 13, 14. Right.
Marcia was the oldest, right?
Yeah, but she was definitely not 18.
Right.
Definitely not.
Right.
And I mean, they're both wearing bikinis. I mean, it's not like, holy shit, man. But it's like, friggin' early 70s TNA selling this fucking show. So, I mean,
yeah.
I was watching it, but also, 50-year-old men in darkened rooms were watching it too, I feel.
You weren't watching it in a darkened room the other night, were you?
I was not. I was doing research.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. With the lights out, it's less dangerous.
Less dangerous.
Yeah, that's so ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you this is a don't look anything up yet.
Okay, stopping.
I'm just going to kick it off with David Cassidy, Dead or Alive.
See, I don't know. He might be dead. We can edit that out. I think, because I feel like he did some crazy shit. He engaged in coitus with many.
Well, he was on the cover of Teen Beat and Tiger Magazine.
Right, Tiger
probably,
Magazine.
a dozen umpteen times.
Right, and he was like a 21-year-old or 24-year-old guy portraying a 17-year-old guy?
Well, they might have only asked to believe that was a few years difference, like if he was 22 actually, and we were supposed to, accept him as a 19 or 18-year-old.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not as bad as fucking Grease.
Wasn't it? Wait, wasn't it also?
Gosh, no. the other game would be, it's almost more of a challenge to suggest a name of who's still alive from a series.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
Or not,
game,
not necessarily the celebrity in and of themselves, but just say from that show who's still alive.
Yeah.
That's another one that I've thought about. It started out in black and white.
Did
No
it?
shit.
The Brady's, really?
There's some early episodes that were in.
That's crazy because, I mean, color had been out for years and years and years.
You know what else was a good show? Bewitched.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, now
Was
you're
that
getting
70s
into
or was that 80s?
That's 60s, I think.
60s.
Is it?
Late
Yeah.
late 50s, early 60s.
There was you talk about a comparison, and there's a great between I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Between
think-
Barbara Eden and Elizabeth Montgomery.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Bewitched was a little bit more, I wouldn't say highbrow, but comparatively highbrow.
Oh, compared to the Brady's, certainly.
Well, no, I mean compared to I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
I Dream of Jeannie was definitely fantasy material and goofiness.
Oh, but and I Dream of Jeannie was farcical,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Were they
as
both
was
in the
Bewitched,
military?
but
Yeah, he was.
They were both military husbands.
no. Darren was in advertising.
Okay.
The
Oh,
husband,
Bewitched,
the
yes.
husband in Bewitched was in advertising.
Right.
In advertising. The two Darrens.
Darrens, yeah.
Well, it's actually the two Dicks.
The two dicks.
The actors that portrayed Darren were both named Dick. Dick York
Dick York.
and Dick Sargent,
Dick Sargent.
a.k.a. the two Dicks.
Man, that is amazing.
That's an amazing brain you
That's
got there,
amazing.
Chuck.
I don't know if that's amazing or pathetic, but
That's
On this show, it's great.
it's too bad you're using it for evil.
So,
listen, it would take my word for it when I say, and that is the only time my mind is thinking about
Sharp.
two dicks.
Here's a show I for whatever reason I didn't like it. Captain Kangaroo.
it was a morning show, right?
It was a morning show, right? So it was the only time I ever got to see it was when I was sick.
Right, like
it was
The Price
Monday.
is Right was the only time I got to see that show.
Right, because
when
it
I
was
sick.
Monday through Friday. So maybe it was that, you know. But also, in the same vein, also was Sesame Street.
Right.
You know, I think the reason Sesame Street I didn't like it is I was always aspiring to be older than I was and hang out with older kids, and Sesame Street was for babies, right?
Right.
Is what I thought.
I'm trying to remember what else was around during Sesame Street.
The Electric Company.
Oh, the Electric
That was
Company.
the
That was a
shit.
great fucking show.
I think it was too intelligent for me.
But it was learning, right? So it was
Right.
it was didactic entertainment. So it was educational.
right.
It was an animated bit called Letterman, who was a superhero and had to, on his sweater, on his superhero costume, was part of it was a sweater with a letter on it, and he would have to take the letter and rip it off his sweater, his chest, and fix the word in the vignette that was off. There was a voiceover narration to Letterman, and the voiceover narration was done by Joan Rivers.
How long was the Electric Company on for? 10 years?
It had a pretty good run. You have
I'm going to have to see the Wikipedia to know. I didn't.
yeah, you have before we get to which
I'll recognize the names, but
it's a Hollywood A-lister.
right.
A legend at this point, who was that character on the Electric Company that they showed specifically walking there was Easy Reader.
Whose name in real life was
Before I get to him, so
Okay.
you had that actress Rita Moreno.
Excuse me.
If you
right.
look at Rita Moreno's CV,
yeah,
she's won every major award.
yeah,
Oh, look at that. You're right. A Grammy, an Emmy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Yeah,
Right.
the EGOT. So Rita Moreno, right? So
Oh, look
she,
at that.
yeah,
Hey, you guys.
she screamed the opening line. So, but that's what makes the Electric Company great, is to say this wasn't some throwaway program. The Electric Company had an influence on me growing up as much as Sesame Street did. There was just so much to it.
So
in 1 minute and 51 seconds, you got a lesson,
Yeah.
in literacy.
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And that might have been
Holy shit.
That
Morgan Freeman is on the electric company as a DJ.
Holy shit.
and that was the A-lister I was getting to. Which look, Rita Moreno was an A-lister in the 60s and maybe not so much in the 70s, but she still was a working actress whose career, spanned decades. And so when you earn a paycheck as a performer, you're a working performer, whether it's a working actress, working actor, working musician. Bob Dylan said that, he said, hey, if you were making enough money to pay your bills, then you were a success.
That's why this podcast isn't a success.
Well,
That's right.
but that's
we get our payment in more esoteric form.
hey, that's because it just hasn't reached the the zeitgeist yet of
Right.
Yeah, so Morgan Freeman, when you talk about success, there's a saying, if at first you don't succeed, well then just suck. Something like that. Suck until you seed or something like that. Yeah, Morgan Freeman in the 70s. So he had a number of characters, but so the DJ, yes, but also easy reader.
Right. So was this show like modern shows that like celebrity
Guests?
guests that get
like Sesame Street has.
What do you think? Cameos.
maybe cameos, yeah.
Cameos.
Maybe unintentionally.
Right.
Like not as, not for the show of it.
Right.
But these are how we learned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we think about television as the electric babysitter. And
Right.
And
Now you're merely entertained.
well,
There is some education.
well,
but
now
it
you're
is-
getting into pedagogical, aspects of, can television as a medium be beneficial as a learning tool? Absolutely.
We'll do pop-ups of these words later.
But so you had the emphasis here is on these two segments in particular were in regards to literacy. So you had an understanding of changing that one letter from light to night,
Right.
but then the things that go along with it, right? To say, like all the little things that a part of the narration to say, is he in the dark with the rest of us? And like, we
Right.
need owls as pets.
Right.
So you associate, then you learn that owls are nocturnal. It's not saying, owls are whatever species and they're nocturnal creatures. You're not saying
But it
that
is-
explicitly.
It encouraged critical thinking. I don't remember it, but I must have seen this because I loved reading things that were sort of tongue twisters type of
And so just at
words.
its core is just promoting reading. So
Yeah.
it's promoting literacy.
Kind of like what
Spelling and reading is obviously literacy. So that's,
Right.
and so you have the visual kind of stimulation, if you will, because you have the animation of Letterman, right? You have it's animated, so it's a cartoon, so like kids are going to gravitate to that. And then you get this outlandish three-dimensional character of the easy reader. And it's like, hey, he's got your attention. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, well, what is he doing? And he's, and then they kind of emphasize the point. She says, weren't you going to drink that Dr. D-Light? And he says, no, baby, I'm easy reader. I just read the labels. Again, the thing was just promoting learning and in that case, literacy. And who knows if, right, to say with Joan Rivers, who was a stand-up comedian at the time.
She
Right.
did a great job as doing the voiceover.
Well,
though.
now this predates her as a substitute and then a guest host on The Tonight Show.
on the Tonight
Right.
Show.
But she was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
That started in the 60s, and then her and Johnny Carson knew each other from that.
if you're good at something, then you should.
And to say, well, and Rita Moreno, and to say, well, okay, yeah, sure, there's a pragmatic thing to it, it's a paycheck, but are we also doing something good to say, well, this is directed towards children,
I think that
and their education and their learning.
I think that was the draw for her. I wonder if this is a job I can get.
No. In my generation, which was a little bit after you all, the big
you're
one was
a decade later.
LeVar Burton doing Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Exact same premise.
Right.
One of the things I was going to say, I visited the site of Woodstock this summer.
Really?
Or last summer now, yeah. And because they have a music venue up there now for
Bethel, New York.
Bethel, New York,
Yeah.
right? And so, but now the list of performers on there is of course legendary and
Right.
and
Jimi
and
Hendrix.
the whole thing, yeah. Well, the schedule got so out of whack and out of sorts for
As will
a
happen.
multitude of reasons, weather related, technical problems, so on and so forth. Jimi Hendrix, now he actually performed on Monday morning. He was the last act.
Right.
And now that was in his contract to be the last act, not on Monday morning, but just the last act of the festival.
How big
which
how
was,
big of a star was he at that point?
He was pretty big at that point.
He was at his apex.
Yeah.
You know, there were acts like that played at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, like Friday night and Saturday night.
Right.
And so everything got pushed back. The point I wanted to make was about Jimi Hendrix closing the festival, was that, you know, to say, oh, I'm not going on, like I got to go on Sunday night, say 11 to midnight, but it's like, oh, you got pushed back
Right.
to 1 a.m, 2 a.m. No, how about till Monday morning at 8 a.m.
Right.
And he honored that obligation. And I mean, he played like a 2-hour set.
Wow.
And he played the national anthem.
The Star Spangled Banner on
Yeah.
guitar. And it actually, I believe if you look at the set list, there might have been a
take a
song
look.
after that, but I think the Star Spangled Banner was the last song of the festival,
Wow.
the last song of his set.
Wow.
I had this thought at the Woodstock Museum, and of course, it's his performance at the Star Spangled Banner is iconic at this point. I was thinking about, of all the things you could talk about with Jimi Hendrix, whether it be music or fame, but I thought the one question I would like to hear him discuss for 5 good minutes would be, tell me about your decision to play the Star Spangled Banner at the Woodstock Festival Monday morning. I just would like to hear, because
Hear the thought process, right?
I would like to hear the thought process of that, because it's an iconic performance at this point.
My guess would be that it was to demonstrate that counterculture leaders like him, were still patriotic.
And that's
Right.
exactly what
They
I heard
didn't-
I asked somebody that.
Right. They did not
To say, hey, we're Americans too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, I mean, the most bizarre fucking thing is he's a veteran.
And that's a great point too,
Which
that I knew and wasn't considering in this
Right.
moment, but that would be my one question to him.
Right. This has been Fairly Harmless. I'm Andrew.
I'm James.
And I'm Chuck.
Chuck, thanks so much for coming to
Yeah, thank you, Chuck.
come to our little
A little
podcast.
soiree.
Thank you for having me. And it's the first time. I hope it's not the last.
It's definitely
No,
not
certainly
the
not
only
the last.
time.
Once again, this has been Fairly Harmless. Missing the point on, wait, what's the point? Get some sensational swag. Go to shop.fairlyharmless.com. Our musical accompaniment provided by the Boston Horns, East Coast Funk. Their music is available for streaming and purchase on most media platforms. For Fairly Harmless, this has been your announcer, Fast Eddie. See you soon.
And even with the talent of a Dick Van Dyke and Ed Asner, I mean, you're not going to do a...
You going for the look?
Yeah, that's like, one eye's looking at you, one eye's looking for you.
That is a great phrase. Holy shit.